Hello, in this video we're going to use something called the bar method in order to get marks in a level 2 functional skills maths exam. Alex is the manager of a hospital canteen. He reviews the meals the patients choose. On Monday there were 240 patients in total. 1/3 of these patients chose pasta, 3/8 chose beef stew, and the others chose chicken. And it says how many patients chose chicken on Monday. So what's going on in this question is we have this hospital canteen. There's 240 people on Monday, and it says 1/3 did pasta, 3/8 chose stew, and then how many chose chicken. So this is a question that is involving fractions, obviously, and what I'm advising you is that if you see a question with fractions in it, you should consider using the bar method, and I think you'll see it is useful in this case. Let's tackle the pasta first. 1/3 chose pasta. You ask yourself this question, how many parts are in a whole? And in this case, it's thirds. So how many thirds are in a whole? And the answer is 3. There are 3/3 in a whole. So I just draw a bar and split it into 3 equal parts. And then you must ask yourself, do we know the whole? And the answer to that is yes. It tells us there are 240 patients in total. So it's saying in total there, that's the whole amount of patients. So we're just going to make a note of that, and then we need to ask ourselves, can we find one part? Can I find one part? And hopefully you can see from the bar diagram here that yes, the way to find one part here is to do 240 divided by 3, and then we will know what one part is. We're going to have to do this by hand because there's no calculator in this part of the exam. Section A. So here we go, 240 divided by 3 using this bus stop method. And then we ask ourselves, how many 3's are there in 2? Well, there's 0, and then the 2 carries over. And then we move one step to the right. How many 3's are there in 24? We need to recall our times tables here. The answer is 8 exactly. Then we move to the right again. How many 3's are there in 0? There's 0. And that's it. So now we know that 240 divided by 3 is 80. So we can just go ahead and fill that in the bar chart, the bar diagram. Each part is equal to 80. And that's it. 1/3 chose pasta, 1/3 is 80. And we've used the bar method to figure out how many patients that is, 1/3 of the whole. Now let's do the next one, which is 3/8 of these patients chose beef stew. So again, here we're going to ask ourselves, how many parts are in the whole? And we're talking about eighths here. So how many eighths are in a whole? The answer is 8. There are 8/8 in a whole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the bar and split it into 8 equal parts. And then we'll ask ourselves, do we know the whole? Do I know the whole? Yes, it's 240 as before, patients in total. So I'm making note of that. And then I ask myself, well, can I find one part? And in this case, yes, we're going to find one part by doing the 240 divided by 8. Again, let's do this without a calculator. We've got 240 divided by 8 using the bus stop method. Let's go. How many 8's are there in 2? 0. Carry the 2 over. How many 8's are there in 24? Got to recall our times tables here. The answer is 3. How many 8's? And that's exactly. And then we move another step to the right here. How many 8's are there in 0? 0. Okay, so it's 30. So each part of the bar diagram is 30, and they're all equal parts. In this case, we want 3/8 of the patients chose beef stew. This is actually means that's going to be 3 parts chose beef stew here. So looking at the bar diagram, we can see that is 3/30s. So that means it's 90 people chose beef stew. So let's make a note of that. And the question says the remaining people, the others, chose chicken. So in order to work that out, we're going to do 240 subtract the 80 and the 90. But the way I would like to do that is to first add up the 80 and the 90, to add them up using the column method here, lining everything up, and I get 170 for that. And then just take away the 170 from the 240. And I'm going to use the column method again for that, just to make sure. Subtract 0 from 0, right, that's 0. Subtract 7 from 4, okay, I can't do that, so I'm going to borrow. Subtract 7 from 14, I get 7. And 1 from 1 is 0, so it's 70. 70 chose chicken. And that is the solution to this question. And that is 4 marks, which is not bad at all. And hopefully you can see how this bar method is useful for this question. The thing about it is that it's useful for a variety of different questions and ratios. So if you liked what you saw in this question, check out the other videos that I've made showing the use of the bar method. But most importantly, check out my website if you're looking for help with tuition in order to pass this exam. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.